Hello everyone, welcome to Prince on Air, and today we are back with another video that is of chapter 1, some basic concepts of chemistry, class 11th. Okay, so in this lecture we will discuss about the NCERT back exercise question. Okay, so we have divided that back exercise question into multiple videos. Okay, one by one we will solve the back exercise questions here. Okay, and this one is the video solution number 1. Okay, means here we will discuss about the first 10 questions of NCERT back exercise questions. Okay, and in further videos we will do that further questions. Okay, now here we will discuss about the first question. That one is calculate the molecular mass of or molar mass of the following. Okay, now we have to calculate the molecular mass here. See how to calculate the molecular mass. Firstly, we have to calculate the molecular mass of water. Now, what is the molecular mass of water here? H2O. All of you know the atomic mass individually of the elements. Yes or no? So, atomic mass is like hydrogen has 1. All of you know that, no? Okay, helium is 4. Then of lithium is, what is the atomic mass of lithium here? It is 7. So all that you know very well. Okay, that I've discussed in the previous lectures. If you don't know, you can watch that lectures. So now here, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Number of hydrogens are 2. Multiplied it by 1 plus oxygen. Number of oxygens are 1. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So 2 plus 16. It will comes out to be 18. So 18 is the atomic mass, or you can say molecular mass of water. Similarly for carbon dioxide. Okay, number of carbons are 1 here, and the atomic mass of carbon is 12 plus number of oxygen are 2. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Okay, so 12 plus 32. It will comes out to be 44 units. Okay, clear? Now one more is there, no? CH4. So what is the atomic mass of CH4? Carbon is 1. Total number of carbon is 1, and atomic mass of carbon is 12 plus 4. Number of hydrogens are 4, and atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So it will be 1. So 12 plus 4. 12 plus 4, it comes out to be 60. So first question is water, that is 18. Second one is 44, and third one is 16. Okay, clear? Now let's move to next part. Next question is calculate the mass percent of different elements present in the sodium sulfate. Okay, in sodium sulfate, what is the percentage composition, or you can say what is the percentage of individual element present in the given molecule. Okay, it means if you are having the sodium sulfate molecule, and how much percentage of sodium is there, how much percentage of sulfur is there, how much percentage of oxygen is there, that we have to calculate in this section. Okay, so see carefully. Okay, that part we have to calculate here. See carefully. Sodium sulfate. If you are having sodium sulfate now, sodium sulfate, firstly you have to calculate the molecular mass of sodium sulfate. So how we can calculate? Number of sodium 2 into atomic mass of sodium is 23. Okay, 23 plus number of sulfurs are 1. Okay, atomic mass of sulfur is 32. Okay, number of oxygens are 4, and atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Okay, so do that calculation. Try to do that calculation. First. Try yourself first. Yes, done. So it is 46 plus 32 plus 64. So it will comes out to be 142. I think so. So it will comes out to be 142. Clear? Now it's clear, no? Now, percentage of sodium we have to calculate, percentage of sulfur we have to calculate, percentage of oxygen we have to calculate. Now, percentage of sodium, how we can calculate the percentage of sodium? The mass of sodium in a given molecule, okay, the mass of sodium in a given molecule upon total mass of sodium sulfate into 100. In that way we can calculate the mass percentage that we have discussed in the last sections, last videos also. So the sodium, mass of sodium is 46 plus by 142 into 100. Similarly, mass of sulfur, it is 32. So 32 upon 142 into 100. Similarly, that's for oxygen, it is 64 upon 142 into 100. So it will comes out to be, try to do that calculation yourself first. So the percentage of sodium will comes out to be 32.39. Okay, 32.39, and that's of sulfur is comes out to be 22.54. Okay, and percentage of oxygen will comes out to be 45.07%. That just calculation you have to do yourself. Okay, yeah. So let's move to next question. Determine the empirical formula of oxide of iron which has 69.9% iron and 30.1% dioxygen by mass. Okay, this question you have to solve yourself. Firstly, pause the video and try to do yourself. That we have discussed, that we have done all so many types of question related to this. Okay, so just try to do yourself first. Okay, pause that video and try to do that. Okay, done. So see that. Let's see the solution. Now determine the empirical formula of oxide of iron which has 69.9% iron and 30.1% dioxygen by mass. So let us suppose the sample is made up of 100 grams part. Okay, means that sample is of 100 grams mass. Okay, so if it is of 100 gram, elements are elements are iron and oxygen. Okay, iron and oxygen. Mass, that given mass is considered to be as iron has 69.9 gram in gram. Okay, 69.9 and oxygen is 30.1. Okay, then it's clear. Huh? Now we have to calculate the number of moles firstly. So number of moles comes out to be, number of moles, formula of number of moles is given mass upon molar mass. Given mass upon molar mass. So if you will put that given mass here, the given mass of iron is 69.9 gram and the molar mass, can you tell me the molar mass of iron or atomic mass of iron? That is 55.85. So it will comes out to be 55.8, you can say. Okay, 55.85. Okay, so through that you can calculate the number of moles. Similarly for oxygen, it will be 30.1 upon 16. Now you can calculate the number of moles. The number of moles comes out to be 1.25 for iron, and that for oxygen it will comes out to be 1.88. Okay, now we have to divide with the lowest number. Okay, divide that both numbers with the lowest number. The whole number ratio will comes out to be 1.25 upon 1.25, and 1.88 upon 1.25. So do that calculation, try to do that calculation, it will comes out to be 1 and 1.5. It will be 1 and 1.5. So whole number will be equals to 2 multiplied both by 2 and it will be 3. So iron will be Fe2 and O3. So the formula is, empirical formula is Fe2O3. Okay, clear? Only that calculation I am just giving you. Okay, actually you have to do that calculation yourself first. That's okay. Okay, yeah, can you if you can't take the screenshot, you can just copy it. Okay, by pausing this video you can copy it. I've faced that problem here, okay, due to security reasons or copyright case reason. Okay, you can't take the screenshot, I think so. So what do one thing, you can just pause that video and do that copy. Okay, you can note it down. Done? Okay then. Next question. Calculate the amount of carbon dioxide that could be produced when 1 mole of carbon is burned in air. 1 mole of carbon is burned in 16 gram of dioxygen. 1 moles of carbon are burned in 16 gram of dioxygen. Okay. So first part we will do first. Okay, first part we can do. Firstly, you can write the reaction. Carbon react with oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide. Okay then. So calculate the amount of carbon dioxide that could be produced. Carbon dioxide that could be produced if the 1 mole of carbon dioxide is burned in air. Okay, we have so much supply of oxygen here. Okay, so the reaction is that, and it is in the balance form. It means that 1 mole of carbon react with 1 mole of oxygen and it will form 1 mole of carbon dioxide. That's it. Okay, now oxygen mass is not given, only carbon is given. No, so if we are taking the 1 mole of carbon and 1 mole of carbon dioxide will be produced, yes or no? Huh? So if you are taking 1 mole of carbon, only the 1 mole of carbon dioxide will be produced. Clear? But if you are considering in terms of gram, so carbon is of 12 gram and this one is of 44 gram. Carbon 12 and 32 of oxygen. So it will comes out to be 44. So in this case, the 1 mole of carbon will contain 12 gram. Okay, it will be equal to that gram atomic mass. So 12 gram of carbon will give you 44 gram of carbon dioxide. That is a direct answer here, because 1 mole of carbon will give you 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Yes or no? Okay, and in 1 mole of carbon there is 12 gram of carbon. So 12 gram of carbon will give you the gram molar mass of carbon dioxide, that is 44. So 44 gram of carbon dioxide. So that is the actual answer here. Okay, so in short you can say the 1 mole of carbon is giving you 44 gram of carbon dioxide. Okay, okay then. Now we can move to the next question, that is 1 mole of carbon dioxide is burned in 16 gram of dioxygen. Okay, whenever 1 mole of carbon dioxide is burned in 16 gram of dioxygen, means both component is given to you, know, the amount of both component is given to you. So in that case you have to just identify first the limiting reagent. Okay, limiting reagent you have to calculate first, and in this case which one is the limiting reagent? See, 1 mole carbon react with oxygen, it will give you carbon dioxide. Okay, that's it. 1 mole of carbon dioxide react with 1 mole of oxygen and it will give you 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Clear? Now we are having that 1 mole, but that oxygen is of how much amount? 16 gram. But in this case you can see 12 gram of carbon react with the 32 gram of oxygen and it will form 44 gram of carbon dioxide. In that way, no, 1 mole of oxygen is equal to 32 gram. But they are giving you in place of 32 16 gram only. Means this is in less amount. Actually carbon is given as 12 gram, which is 1 mole. 1 mole they have given to carbon, but oxygen is 16 gram, which is equals to half mole. Okay, which is equals to half mole. So which that component which is less in amount or limit in amount or limit the production of product. Okay, so that will be a limiting reagent. Okay, so in this case 0.5 mole is the limiting reagent here. Okay, so no need to see the amount of carbon given to you because it is in excess. Okay, so just you have to see the oxygen. So 1 mole of oxygen will give 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Half mole of oxygen will give you half mole of carbon dioxide. So half mole of carbon dioxide, it will comes out to be 22 gram. So in this case 1 mole of, you can say 1 mole of oxygen will give 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Okay, half mole is given, half mole of oxygen will give you half mole of carbon dioxide. Here half mole is 16 gram, means it will be 22 gram of carbon dioxide will be produced. Okay, that was they are asking, no, the amount of carbon dioxide produced. Okay, so answer is 22 gram of carbon dioxide. Clear? Next question is, 2 moles of carbons are burnt in 16 gram of dioxide. Same. Okay, if we are increasing the amount of carbon once again, then in that case the carbon dioxide should be same. So similar question is there, no? Carbon react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Okay, now 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole. Okay, 1 mole of carbon react with 1 mole of oxygen, it will form 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Okay, then afterwards here we are having, in place of 1 mole we are having that 0.5 mole, because in 1 mole of oxygen it will be 32 gram, but in this case they are giving you 16 gram only, and in place of 1 mole they are giving you 2 mole, excess mole they are giving you. Okay, so the component which is limited amount, that will limit the product. Okay, quantity of product. So in that case half mole will form that half mole of carbon dioxide. So in this way carbon dioxide in 1 mole it is 44 gram, in half mole it will be 22 gram. So answer will be 22 gram once again. Okay, same answer will be there. Okay, now next question, calculate the mass of sodium acetate required to make 500 ml of 0.375 molar aqueous solution. Molar mass of sodium acetate is 82.0245 gram per mole. So try to do yourself first. Write the formula of molarity, and in that way you can calculate it. Okay, actually the question is 0.375 molar aqueous solution, that is given to you, so it means that see what is given to you, volume is given to you, 0.375 molar. Okay, and okay, 0.375 molarity is given to you. So what is molarity? The number of moles of solute upon volume of solution in ml and into 1000. Okay, clear? Now number of moles you have to calculate first. Actually molarity is given to you, it means 0.375 moles in 1000 ml of solution. Okay, 1000 ml of solution. Okay, now but the solution is given to you, that is 500 ml. Okay, so means if the solution is half, then it means the number of moles are half. Okay, so the total number of moles are 0.375 upon 2. Okay, then Now in this case, what we have to do, we have to calculate the mass. Actually the number of moles equals to given mass upon molar mass. Okay, so it the molar mass, given mass comes out to be number of moles into molar mass. Number of moles are 0.375 upon 2 and molar mass comes out to be, it is given to you 82.0245. okay, so just do that calculation here and answer will comes out to be 15.380 gram. 15.380 gram. Okay, clear? Now next question is, calculate the concentration of nitric acid in moles per liter in a sample which has the density 1.41 gram per milliliter and the mass percent of nitric acid in it is being 69%. Okay, that is the question here. Try to do that question yourself first. Try to understand this equation first. Okay, statement we have to understand first. See, calculate the concentration of nitric acid in moles per liter in a sample which has mass, which has a density 1.41 gram per milliliter and the mass percent of nitric acid in it is being 69%. Means if we are having this 100 gram sample of nitric acid, what is that meaning? 69% means if you are having 100 gram sample of nitric acid, it will contain 69 gram of pure nitric acid. Okay, that means that. Okay, means if we are having 100 gram sample of nitric acid, it will contain 69 gram pure nitric acid in it. Okay, and then calculate the concentration of nitric acid in moles per liter. Moles per liter we have to calculate. So the mass we got, molar mass we have to calculate. Molar mass of nitric acid HNO3. Can you calculate this? Huh? So through that, given mass is 69 gram, molar mass that you can calculate from here, and in that way you can calculate the number of moles. Okay. Afterwards, in liter we have to calculate, no, means firstly you have to calculate the volume here. So density is given to you. For that, density is given to you. Okay, through the density you can calculate the, and mass we have just considered it should be 100 gram. Okay, so if it is of 100 gram mass, density is given to you, volume you can calculate. Density's formula is mass over volume, and in that way volume will comes out to be mass over density. So mass is 100 gram we have considered, density is 1.41 gram. Okay, can you solve this value? Try to solve this value now. Hint I given to you, try to solve this question. Nitric acid, the molecular mass of nitric acid will comes out to be 63 gram per mole. So number of moles will comes out to be given mass 69 gram, molar mass 63. So in that way you will calculate the number of moles. Number of moles comes out to be 1.095 moles. Okay, that will comes out. Now volume, can you tell me the volume here? Volume 100 gram upon this value, so it will comes out to be 70.92 milliliter. 70.92 milliliter, or you can say, can you convert it into the milliliter? 70.92 into 10 raised power minus 3 liter. Now we have convert it into the liters. Now what we have to do? We have to calculate the molarity here. Okay, number of moles of solute in the upon the volume of solution. So molarity will comes out to be 1.095 upon 70.92 into 10 raised power minus 3. Okay, so that value you can solve it, and that answer will comes out to be 15.44. 15.44 molar or gram, you can say no, mole per liter. Okay, so answer will be 15.44 molar. Okay, then next question, how much copper can be obtained from the 100 gram of copper sulfate? 100 gram of copper sulfate will contain how much amount of copper sulfate, copper. So see, here you firstly calculate the molar mass of copper. Molar mass of copper. Calculate the molar mass of copper. Copper atomic mass is given to you 63.5. Sulfur is 32. Oxygen 4 into 16. So 63.5, 32, 64. So solve this value. In that way, firstly you have to calculate the molar mass first. Okay, then you can calculate the firstly molar mass. Okay, then so for molar mass comes out to be, it will be 159.5 gram per mole. Okay, then now what you have to do here, how much copper can be obtained? See, if you are having 159.5 gram copper sulfate, so that will contain 63.5 gram copper. Okay, 63.5 gram copper, yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, so 1 gram of copper sulfate will contain how much gram of copper? It will be 63.5 upon 159.5. Okay, 100 gram will contain, it will be 63.5 upon 159.5 into 100. So that value comes out to be the mass of copper. So it will be 39.81 gram. Okay, so try to solve this one. Okay, then done. Shall we move to next part? Next question. Determine the molecular formula of oxide of iron, in which mass percent of iron and oxygen are given to you respectively. Given the molar mass of oxide is 159.8 gram per mole. Iron atomic mass is given to you. Oxygen is also given to you. Calculation of empirical formula also we have to do. So same question we have done already. Okay, element, iron and oxygen. Given mass, we have just supposing that sample is made up of 100 gram sample, so it is 69.1 gram and it is 30.1 gram. Now number of moles, so number of moles comes out to be 69.1 upon iron, its atomic mass is 55.85. Okay, then, and 30.1 upon 16. So calculate this value. That actually we have done all that equation here already. So do that yourself first. Yes, can you do this? So it will comes out to be 1.25 and 1.88. Okay, and whole number ratio, so 1.25 upon 1.25 up 1.88 upon 1.25. Actually that same question is there that we have done. Okay, so it will comes out to be 1 and it will comes out to be 1.5. So whole number ratio by multiplying 2, 2, 3. So iron formula will comes out to be Fe2O3. It is the empirical formula. It is the empirical formula. Now you have to calculate the value of empirical formula mass. 2 into atomic mass 55.85 plus 3 into 16. So it will comes out to be it will comes out to be 159 159.8. 159.8 gram per mole. Okay, which is equals to the molar mass. So if it is equals to molar mass, means n value is molar mass upon empirical formula mass. Both are same, so it will comes out to be 1. So if you will multiply the value of n with empirical formula, you will get the molecular formula. So the empirical formula and molecular formula will be same here. So answer will comes out to be Fe2O3 same. Okay, clear? Now next question. Calculate atomic mass or average atomic mass of chlorine using the following data. So how we can calculate it? So what we have to do here, natural abundance, it is all that part is given to you, huh? Yes or no? So now you how we can calculate the per average atomic mass? Yeah, average atomic mass we have to calculate, no? Yes. Okay, can we do that value? Molar mass is given to you, percentage abundance is also given to you. So how we can calculate it? Try to do yourself first. So shall we do now? Now percentage abundance is given to you, so multiply it with it and it with it. Okay, so 75.77%. 35 is there, no? Chlorine 35. So it multiply it with a 34.9689 plus 24.23 multiplied it by 36.9659 upon 100, because percentage is there, no? Okay, so do the calculation here, and by doing that calculation you will get by multiplying these values you will get all that value will become equals to 35.4527. That will be the answer. Okay, that you have to do. That calculation just you have to do. Okay, that calculation you have to do. Yeah, I know that means there's some biology students are there which are facing that calculation problem. So try to do that calculation yourself. And if you will do that calculation, because if I am going to do that calculation, that question, that video will become so lengthy. Okay, so I just want to make you stick to the video and that way you means you are just enjoying. And that question firstly you have to do yourself. From the back exercise question you have to do yourself, try yourself. I am just providing the solution of these questions, and if you are again facing the problem, you can put the doubt in the doubt counters. Okay, so I will solve that question once again for you, and I will provide the solution of these questions to you in the pic manner, image form. Okay, now next question. In 3 moles of ethane, calculate the following: number of moles of carbon atoms, number of moles of hydrogen atoms, number of moles of ethane. Yeah, so that is a simple question here. See, if you are having 3 moles of ethane, ethane is C2H6. Okay, so 3 moles of ethane, see 1 mole of ethane will contain 2 moles of carbon, 2 moles of carbon atoms, and 6 moles of hydrogen atoms. Okay, 1 mole of ethane contains 2 moles of carbon atoms and 6 moles of hydrogen atoms. Okay, so 3 moles will contains 3 into 2 moles of carbon and 3 into 6 moles of hydrogen. So it will comes out to be 12 moles of 6 moles of carbon atoms. Okay, and 18 moles of hydrogen atoms. Okay then, so first question was calculate the number of moles of carbon atoms. Carbon atoms are 6 moles. Okay, done. Number of moles of hydrogen atom 18 moles. That is done. Number of moles of ethane. Okay, number of moles of ethane. See, if we are having 3 moles of ethane, the number of molecules of ethane we have to calculate. One mole of ethane will contain. 1 mole of ethane will contain how many number of molecules of ethane? That is Avogadro numbers means 6.02 into 10 raised power 23 molecules of ethane. Okay. Now, how the 1 mole of ethane will contain these molecules? 3 moles will contain 3 into 6.02 into 10 raised power 23. So it will comes out to be 18.06 into 10 raised power 23, or you can say 1.806 into 10 raised power 24 molecules of ethane. Okay, so that will be the answer here. Clear now? Any doubt here? Okay, so that is it for the today video that we have discussed now 10 questions, and in next video we will do the next questions. Okay, and I will provide the solution of that questions. If you are facing any doubt, put that doubt sessions. Okay, go to the doubts counter and put some reviews. Means if you can't understand, I will make that video once again, or if you facing any question, doubt in question, I will provide the solution of that question in next videos. Okay, so yeah, do one thing. If you are looking that videos are worthable for you, so give that motivational thoughts also if it's possible. Okay, if you are feeling that are good, okay, that content that is providing to you, that are provided to you, are worthable for you, so just do one thing. You have to give the praisal. Okay, regards also. At last I just want to tell you the शायरी now. Okay, so गुजर रही है जिंदगी अब ऐसे मुकाम से, गुजर रही है जिंदगी अब ऐसे मुकाम से, अपने ही दूर हो रहे हैं जरा सी जुकाम से, सारी कायनात में एक कातिल बीमारी की हवा हो गई, वक्त ने ऐसा सितम ढाया कि दूरियां ही दवा हो गई. Okay, so I just want to say once again, keep studying, keep motivated, and stay at home. Okay, stay at home. The situation is very drastic outside there. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Let's meet you again in next videos.